If you've ever looked at your life and thought, I'm not failing, but I'm not winning either, this video might feel uncomfortably personal. Because the biggest threat to your financial future isn't poverty. It isn't inflation. It isn't even low income. It's comfort. And the most dangerous part about comfort is that it doesn't look dangerous. It looks responsible and stable. It looks mature. It looks like you're doing everything right. That's why it silently kills wealth. You wake up on time and go to work. You complete your tasks and come home tired but not destroyed. You pay your bills. Maybe you save a little. Maybe you invest a small amount here and there. On weekends you rest. You scroll and reset. And then you repeat. Nothing is collapsing. Nothing is exploding. Life feels manageable. And that word manageable is where the trap begins. Because manageable is not growth. Manageable is maintenance, and maintenance does not build wealth. Most people imagine financial failure as chaos, massive debt, bankruptcy, disaster. But the more common financial tragedy is far quieter. It's the person who spends 10 years in a stable routine and ends up in the exact same financial position, just older. Not poor. Not rich. Just stuck. Comfort creates a smooth surface where urgency disappears. When things aren't painful, you don't feel pressure to change. And without pressure, transformation rarely happens. Desperation forces movement. Comfort removes the need for it. If your situation felt unbearable, you would act aggressively. You would learn late at night. You would study investing. You would build something on the side. You would sacrifice temporary pleasure for long-term leverage. But when life feels okay, growth feels optional. And optional growth almost always gets postponed. Modern society is engineered around comfortable stagnation. Think about it. Everything is designed to remove friction from your life. Food arrives at your door. Entertainment never ends. You can upgrade your lifestyle instantly using credit. You can finance comfort, and you can subscribe to convenience. You can numb boredom with infinite scrolling. You don't need to struggle for survival anymore, and that's a blessing. But it also means you don't automatically develop hunger. Wealth is built by people who stay hungry even when survival is handled. This is where the hidden truth begins to reveal itself. Comfort is not just about physical ease. It's psychological safety. It's the comfort of identity. The comfort of saying, I'm just not a business person. The comfort of believing, investing is too risky. The comfort of deciding, I just want stability. These statements feel mature. They feel cautious. They feel responsible. But they quietly close doors. Because wealth requires you to become someone slightly different from who you are right now. And identity change is uncomfortable. It requires admitting you don't know enough about money. It requires studying when you'd rather relax. It requires looking inexperienced before you look competent. Most people protect their current identity more fiercely than they pursue financial growth. So they stay comfortable. Time passes differently inside comfort. When you're struggling, every day feels heavy. But when you're comfortable, time accelerates. 5 years can disappear inside routine without resistance. You don't feel the missed opportunities in real time. You don't feel the compounding you didn't start. You don't feel the skills you didn't build. You just feel normal. And normal is dangerous when normal doesn't lead to financial freedom. Here's something that sounds subtle but changes everything. Comfort makes delay feel harmless. I'll invest next year. I'll start the side project when things calm down. I'll learn about money when I have more of it. The problem is that wealth compounds quietly, but so does delay. Every year you postpone investing is not neutral. It's negative. Every year you avoid financial education is not safe. It's costly. But comfort makes you feel like there's no rush. And wealth is a time game. Now let's talk about income, because this is where many people misunderstand the trap. They think, once I earn more, I'll build wealth. But if comfort controls your mindset at $50,000 a year, it will control you at $100,000 a year. The lifestyle expands. The expenses upgrade. The habits remain. Higher income inside a comfort mindset doesn't create wealth. It creates a more expensive version of the same cage. You move to a nicer apartment. You upgrade the car. You dine better. You subscribe to more. Nothing is wrong with these things individually. But when every raise becomes a lifestyle raise instead of an asset raise, comfort deepens and urgency fades. You don't feel broke. But you're not building leverage either. And leverage is what creates wealth. There's a crucial difference between comfort and security. Comfort feels good today. Security protects tomorrow. Most people chase comfort and assume it equals security. But comfort is about present emotion. Security is about future resilience. Wealth is about options. Comfort is about ease. The comfort trap also lives in your evenings. After work, you feel tired. You deserve rest. And rest is important. But if every evening becomes passive consumption, you slowly disconnect from growth. You could spend 45 minutes learning about investing. You could spend an hour building a skill that increases your earning power. But the brain naturally chooses the easier dopamine hit. And again, it doesn't feel like a decision. It feels like relaxation. Small comfortable decisions, repeated daily, compound into stagnation. Now let's go deeper into something uncomfortable. Fear hides inside comfort. Fear of instability. Fear of embarrassment. Fear of trying something new and failing publicly. Comfort protects you from those feelings. Staying in a stable job feels safe. Not investing feels safe. Avoiding business feels safe. But safe rarely creates financial independence. Wealth is built in uncertainty. Investing means tolerating market swings. Building income streams means tolerating doubt. Developing new skills means tolerating incompetence at first. Comfort avoids uncertainty. But uncertainty is where opportunity lives. Social environments reinforce the trap. If everyone around you earns similarly, spends similarly, complains similarly, you feel aligned. You feel normal. But if no one in your circle talks about assets, investing, ownership, or long-term strategy, your ambition slowly calibrates downward. Belonging feels stronger than growth. And comfort in belonging quietly overrides financial expansion. So here comes the realization moment. Comfort is addictive because it offers peace without progress. And peace without progress feels fine, until regret arrives. Regret is delayed pain. It shows up years later and asks questions you can't answer. Why didn't you start earlier? Why didn't you learn sooner? Why did you assume you had time? But here's the empowering shift. The comfort trap is silent, which means you can break it silently too. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow. You don't need dramatic, risky moves. You need intentional micro-discomfort. Instead of upgrading lifestyle when income rises, upgrade investments. Instead of increasing fixed expenses, increase assets. Instead of defaulting to nightly entertainment, allocate structured growth time. Instead of saying, "I deserve this purchase," ask, "Does this build freedom?" Awareness alone begins weakening the trap. Start tracking your money seriously, not casually. Because clarity destroys comfortable illusions. When you see the numbers clearly, excuses shrink. When you measure progress, stagnation becomes visible. Create artificial urgency. Don't wait for financial pain to force action. Set deadlines. Specific ones. Increase your investment rate within 6 months. Build one additional income stream within a year. Improve one high-value skill intentionally. Vague goals feed comfort. Specific targets create productive pressure. Normalize growth discomfort. If learning about money feels overwhelming, that's not a stop sign, it's a growth sign. If starting something small feels awkward, that's not a warning, it's expansion. If saying no to certain spending feels socially uncomfortable, that discomfort is protecting your future. Here's the identity shift that changes everything. Stop seeing yourself as someone who seeks comfort first. Start seeing yourself as someone who builds freedom first. Freedom requires temporary friction. It requires saying no today to say yes tomorrow. It requires building assets before building appearance. Imagine 2 paths. On one path, you continue choosing comfort. Life remains predictable, manageable, socially acceptable. 10 years pass. You're stable. But nothing fundamentally changed. On the other path, you intentionally inject small daily discomfort. Learning. Investing. Building. Improving. 10 years pass. You have options. Leverage. Flexibility. Both paths contain discomfort. One is the discomfort of discipline. The other is the discomfort of regret. You get to choose which one compounds. Comfort itself is not evil. Rest is important. Stability matters. But unexamined comfort is expensive. It costs opportunity. It costs compounding time. It costs identity evolution. It costs potential. So the next time you feel pulled toward the easiest option, pause for a moment and ask a simple question. Is this building comfort, or is this building wealth? If you start asking that daily, not perfectly, but consistently, your trajectory shifts quietly. And quiet shifts, repeated long enough, create loud results. The comfort trap only wins when it stays invisible. Now you can see it. And once you see it, you don't have to live inside it anymore.